The Almajiri system of education in Nigeria is a traditional Islamic system of education that has been in practice for centuries, particularly in northern Nigeria. The term Almajiri refers to the students who participate in this system, and the word is derived from the Arabic word Al-Muhajirun, which means emigrant or traveler. Under the Almajiri system, parents send their children, mostly boys aged 4 to 12, to distant locations to acquire Quranic education. Many rural and poor families who can't afford formal schooling have made this choice. While parents may believe they are fulfilling their obligation to provide religious and moral education to their children and that the learning is provided free of charge, Almajiri children are often forced by their teachers, known as malams, to beg in the streets to fund their education. The key problem with the Almajiri system is the exploitation and abuse of Almajiri children. Predominantly in northern regions of Nigeria, the Almajiri education system has led to a distressing situation where children are taken away from their homes and left to wander in the streets in neighboring villages or towns through their formative years. These children account for a significant part of the reported 20 million out-of-school children. They are used as additional labor in their communities and are exposed to hazardous conditions, including being sent to the streets to seek work or beg. These are concerning issues. It goes against legal protections and international standards and violates their rights as stipulated in the Child Rights Act of 2003, which prohibits exploitative labor. It also risks their education, health, well-being and safety, thus exposing them to danger in many ways. The administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan reportedly spent around 15 billion naira to construct 157 Sangaya model schools in northern states. The initiative sought to bridge the gap between traditional Islamic and formal education and empowering Almajiri children with the skills and knowledge for a brighter future. However, these schools remain in poor condition due to inadequate maintenance, poor state government funding, and limited acceptance by their intended beneficiaries. It has been 8 years since Jonathan left, but the problem remains. The Almajiri system has faced criticism and challenges in recent years. Critics argue that the system does not adequately provide a well-rounded education, neglecting subjects like math, science, and English. Additionally, some Almajiri children are vulnerable to exploitation, abuse, and neglect, as they may live in overcrowded and unsanitary conditions. The lack of government oversight and support for these schools has been a source of concern. In response to these challenges, there have been efforts to reform the Almajiri system. Various state governments in northern Nigeria have introduced measures to improve the quality of education and living conditions for Almajiri students. The former governor of Kaduna State, Dr. Nasiru El-Rufai, facilitated a meeting with 19 northern governors towards combating the Almajiri system and avoiding interstate movements of the Almajiri children. Former governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, implemented free and compulsory primary and secondary school education in Kano to curtail the Almajiri issue. But beyond these words and actions, more needs to be done. By providing a more comprehensive education and improving the overall well-being of Almajiri children, it is possible to mitigate the negative consequences of the system and help these children lead better lives.